Hello and welcome back to Soul MCA's channel. I am Soul MCA. I'm glad that you are joining us today. If you are a first-time viewer and you really like today's video, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if you really like the video, then hit subscribe and come and join this growing bass community. Today, I'm very excited. This clip that we're about to watch, I was actually going to make this video the second video of our Can You Guess Who This Bassist Is or Guess Who bass game. However, if you listen very closely to the audio and video that we're about to watch, you'll hear that they say the bassist name in there, and I didn't want any of you cheaters to be in the comments and guessing, not really knowing who it was, but actually hearing. Additionally, what is done in this video, you really wouldn't be able to tell this bassist versus another bassist, which was some of your complaints about the very first episode we aired on that. So what I decided to do is actually really focus on what the bass player in this particular video is doing, and this bass player is, as you've seen in the title, Sharay Reed. All right, Sharay Reed is an amazing bass player, been playing forever, is on so many tracks, such a gifted guy, out touring with Corey Henry and the Funk Apostles right now. And this video is actually with the Funk Apostles. The hardest part about bass soloing a lot of times is getting started. Where do we start? What do we do? There can be so many things. And so what we're going to do is watch this video. And at the conclusion of the video, it's a very short one, I'm going to come back and I'm going to highlight some of the things that Sharay Reed does in this video that are just, oh, mwah, they're just wonderful. All right, so give us a second. You know how we do here. Let me just make my switch. And on your screen soon, if not now, you should already be seeing a video. And we're going to go right on ahead and we're going to hit the play button. That cello sounding violin, whatever that is, with it, sounds great with the little synth. Yes, sir. That trap life. He's not on a fretless bass. I just want you to know that. Willing to bet he's using a pedal of some sort, though. I'll give it up for Sharay Reed, please. One oh one. Literally put it on the clinic and how to bass and how to solo on bass. So what's crazy is, even though he's playing a bass, honestly, what he's using here, the techniques he's using here, and what he put together can be used on any instrument. And the very first thing that you're going to notice out of the gate that he does is he establishes the solo. And another musician who's very good at this is Tony Royster Jr. If you listen to his solos, he's very good at establishing the solo, and that's what Sharay is doing here. Sharay, he starts off boom, doom, doom. All right, and I should say this before we go any further. We're not going to transcribe this. We're not going to talk so much about what keys in, what scales he's using. We're just talking about some of the pieces he's using to put this solo together, because they'll help you, because your solo may not be in this key and may not have this trap feel. It may not have a drummer filling in as much underneath. All right, you could have a solo that has the hits in between. We're just talking about ideas and concepts you can use for bass soloing. And so he starts out with that because that was already there. Right, and he rides that for a little bit. So now your ear, if it wasn't already during the song, it's accustomed to the notes he's about to solo over, right? He brings that point home. Then the very next thing that he's going to do is he starts to give some variations of that. He starts to move away from it just a little bit, enough to kind of like pique your interest, like, oh, just a little at first, then a little bit more. Then he moves the goalpost a little bit more. Great, 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 great. All right, so he establishes, then he gives you some variation. Then he begins to kind of go into a solo, but he doesn't go out full speed.
What?
He's not doing that. He's not going for blazing speed, although he could. And I've seen Sharay in other solos go for speed, kill it. All right, but instead he's still making it musical. He's still letting you know that that under tone of what he's doing is still there, but just like slowly giving you a little bit more, but letting you know I'm moving away from that line now, but what I'm doing is still based on that. All right, and then the fourth thing that he does that I really like is he keeps revisiting parts of. He may not give you the whole boom boom boom. He may not give you that whole thing, but every now and then he revisits a little bit of that. Sometimes he'll come back with a series of chords in the middle of it. Sometimes he'll just give you one note. He'll do a solo, maybe some scale stuff, interval stuff, whatever, and then give you maybe like the last note, and then go back into a solo. And so he's keeping you interested. And what I want you to do now, if you missed it the first time, go back and rewatch it. And what you're going to notice, and this is important for bass players, this is why they always say the best time at a bar is when a bass player is soloing or something. So bass players get a lot of disrespect when it comes to solo time. Nobody pays attention. Watch the crowd when he establishes the groove. He establishes the solo. Everyone is okay, and the drummer comes in, and everyone is just, that's a pulse. And everyone's rocking with him. Watch them. Now, when he starts to begin his solo, they get away from it a little bit. You see people, they're not bouncing as much anymore because now he's gone away from the rhythm. All right. And what I like about the solo is at first he's not doing a lot. A lot of times we think about bass solos and we want to go for everything we know. We want to go for the blazing speed. We want to go for the large intervals. We want to go to the slap and pop. It's musical, and people were still rocking to his solo when it was just musical, and when he was doing simple stuff, but he was still getting reactions from the crowds, oohs and ahs, just with the variations. And then obviously you have to at some point, especially when you're a bass player of his caliber, you have to show something. You've got to be able to go in a little bit and go for a little blood. And so he gets away from the musicality, but keeps revisiting it. So even though the people, you see them kind of slow down a little bit, once in a while he'll do something that you see them kind of get back on beat, and then he'll go away from it a little bit, and then they get back on beat, and then they go away from it a little bit. You've got to keep your audience engaged, because as bass players, our job is to bridge the percussion section to the medley section. All right, where that bridge is the bass players, and he's aware of that even during his solo. It's very impressive what he's doing here. And this stuff, you don't just pick it up in a day. Sharay's been playing for years. And there's a lot more. I'm just trying to get you to understand there's a lot more than just notes and note choices that's going into this solo. This is a deliberate, intentional solo that he's doing. All right, so that'll give you some ideas. Establish the solo. Begin to make some variations from your solo. Go into your solo slowly. Don't go for the speed immediately. Don't go for your biggest licks immediately. Kind of just work up to them, crescendo up to them. Revisit your line while you're soloing. And then one of the last things he does is he brings it back, right? And he doesn't just come straight back to the boom, doom, doom. He's got to obviously cue the other band members too, but he goes into this little chord thing that he does that is still the actual same, their chords to those same three notes he's kind of been using through the whole solo too. And that just ties it all in. All right, so we get a little bit of that elevator action. He climaxes, and then he gives it a nice little resolution, and then goes right back into where he needs to go to finish it off. Perfectly done. And that's how you solo. On a bass or on any instrument, that's how you solo. Featuring Sharay Reed. I'm Soul MCA. Y'all have a good one. Take it easy. I'll see you next time. God bless.
Hey, 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 hey. What's up, y'all? Please give me a like and subscribe, y'all. Subscribe if you like, and then hit the bell and say yes all, so when the video drops, you'll get the call.
Yes, sir.